Hello, everybody. How are you doing today? My name is Tony Zano, and this is episode 266 of the world famous to the University of Love, the best podcast in one, two, three galaxies. Ladies and gentlemen, you and I, we just call it Online Marketing Moves, and we are coming to you live today. Today is April 30th, 2021. It's the last day of the month, ladies and gentlemen. What are you going to do? How's your month been going? This month has been A-OK. I'm not going to tell you, I'm not going to BS you around. I didn't quite hit my goal, didn't quite hit the 10,000 mark, but we are getting up there, ladies and gentlemen. My wife said 4 months in a row, so the month of May, we're gonna make it happen. We're gonna knock it out the park. Then June, July, August, September. Well, I might just keep the driving job and still make 10, 20, $30,000 a month, but for a little while, because that's just how it be. But I'm just kidding. None of this matters, ladies and gentlemen. But ladies and gentlemen, we're not here to talk about me, and we're not here to talk about money. We discussed that yesterday. Don't bore your audience. All right. Today we are going to talk about a little bit about email marketing and a couple tricks that you can use to get more open, to get more people to open your email. Now, the most important thing about email marketing is them clicking on the link. Who cares how many people open it? If you have a million people and nobody clicks on the links, then that's no good. If you have 1,000 people and 100 people click on those links, you want you want the email list that will respond by clicking on the link. You're driving people to a link. You're driving people to buy. All right. We don't care about open rates. Say it with me one time. We don't care about open rates. Nobody cares about open rates. Of course, you want people to open it, but you want people to read the whole email. You want people to click on the link. That is the goal, ladies and gentlemen. That is the goal. And today we are going to discuss a couple techniques you can get for them to open the email, so then you have the chance to get them to click on the link. Now, I will tell you a good especially if you are a little weak and it comes to email marketing, if you are having a little trouble, one thing that you can do is put their name in the subject line. That works like a charm. Trust me. For some reason, when people see their name, they're like, "Oh, I should open up the email." Now, when I first started, I was very bad with about email writing emails. So I worked I worked hard at the headline. I was like, I got to get these people to open up to read the headline, and then they would open it. So this is what I started doing. So I would put people's name in the email. Another thing I would write, another one of my bigger email, like click rates and somebody clicking on links is this. I wrote a story one Sunday and I just put Sunday story time. As we talked about this before, we talked about this in previous podcasts. People love stories. So I put Sunday story time, and then I put you will enjoy this. And for some reason people was like, well, I want to hear a story. And it got like 30 to 40%, a lot higher than what I was normally getting at the time. In the beginning, I would give you some numbers at the beginning of my email marketing. I got like at one point I had 60 people, zero, 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 and then I got like 11 more people on the email list, and then it went up to 1.41, and then finally one day I wrote this email and I got 18% of the people to open the email and 3% to click on the link. So I was like, all right, we're doing something right. And then I used their name once, I got 25%. And then I put Sunday story time and then I got like 40%. So you see, if you say their name or if you say, hey, I want to tell a story, let me tell a story, then people are more than likely going to open it up because people want to hear stories, people want to be entertained. And of course, the email, yes, you want them to click on the link, but you also have to figure out different ways to get these people to click on the link, to get these people to stay with you and the entire email. and another trick that I learned from a guy, he said, you know sometimes if you write a lengthy email, you should put the link in a couple of different spots. So that way, if somebody's like, "All right, I'm sold," they don't have to they don't have to read the entire thing. So that's another thing that you might want to think about if you're writing out the email and you're like, "This is a good," and you know you have a strong point. You're like, "Boom, this is a good place to put the link." You just can put it into the wording, and then they'll see it because it'll be highlighted. So they might be like, "Well, I want to buy this product," and let me click on it right now because we all have sometimes impulses, and we all sometimes are like, you know what, I don't need to hear anything else, I'm buying this. And so this might happen to you. So use the name every now and then, especially if you're starting off. If you have a little struggles when it comes to the email marketing, click on the name. Use their name in the subject line, and also tell them, "Hey, I'm about to tell you a story. You will be entertained." And trust me, this works. I've tried this a few times. I broke down the, "Hey, I'm story time," or, "Hey, so and so. Why haven't you?" One time, one of my better ones in the last couple of months, I just put, "Hey, Joe Blow, I am going to delete you soon." And people open up the email, which I really was going to delete them because some people just wasn't opening the emails. And like we talked about this before, you don't want to waste a lot of, you don't want to waste space on certain people. And if they're never open, if it's been a year and they haven't opened the emails, it's like, all right, goodbye. But these are just a couple tricks that you can use. These are definitely a couple, but eventually you won't need that many tricks. Eventually, once you get a following, once you get the referrals you're looking for, once you get people that know you and like you and trust you, then they will open up the emails anyway. But in the beginning, we talked about this. You are a man, woman, however you identify yourself. You are somebody that is walking alone in the desert. All right. It's sort of like what's that Will Smith movie? I Am Legend. You are I Am Legend. You're walking around, there's nobody out here. You think you're in the zombie apocalypse, but you're just in the online apocalypse and nobody's around in the beginning. And you're like, where in the HE hockey sticks is everybody? Oh, they're somewhere else? Well, let me find them and let me get them to gather around here. Okay. So in the beginning, you might have to use more, techniques, more hacks, as people like to say. But once you build your audience, once you gain an audience, you will not have to do the names and all that kind of stuff. You still will tell entertaining stories, of course, but you won't have to use names. You won't have to put like dollars in the, certain, especially if you're like in the make money online kind of niche, then you might want to put dollar, because people are, and unfortunately, people fall for if you're like, "Hey, I made $1 million in one day," people are like, "What? How can I make $1 million in one day?" It's like, come on, that's especially online marketing. Come on, you know what I mean? But anyway, I hope these techniques help. I hope they help you. And if you want to get better with email, of course, just write emails every day. Just pretend like you know what I learned is when I write an email, I think about my friend from high school, and I'm like, what would I say to my buddy while I'm writing this email? And so I just write like I'm writing to one person. You're writing to more than one person, but you want to think about, who am I writing to, and then figure that out, and then just start writing, and don't, you know, don't go back and overcorrect, correct. It's one thing about writing. If you ever want to write, if you ever want to do a blog, don't try to be real perfect. Every article is not going to be a home run. As we talked about this before, I think we just talked about this last week. Every podcast is not going to be a home run. Every video is not going to be a home run. The most important thing is you are practicing while you're doing it. Think about what you want to improve on, and just keep working on it, and just keep getting better at it. All right. So, with that being said, ladies and gentlemen, that's it for the podcast. Ladies and gentlemen, what are you doing tonight? I'm having pizza. What are you gonna have? Wife is working late. I watch. Oh yeah. Let me discuss the show with you. Have any of you guys have any of you guys started watching the Mighty Ducks Game Changers? maybe, maybe it's just me, but I think it's a very good show. I'm like, man, because I love the Mighty Ducks when I was a younger lad. And I was like, I enjoyed all three movies. Me and my brother, we got down with the Mighty Ducks, and I enjoyed the show. It's been like 5 or 6 episodes. It's a very good show, actually. It's the only show I've checked out in the last, couple months because busy. But anyway, you know, I'm sure you probably not going to spend your Friday night watching the Mighty Ducks Game Changers, but if you get a chance one of these days, check it out. I mean, plus I got to start practicing because I'm gonna be with child soon, so it's gonna be a lot of cartoons and a lot of kiddie shows. I don't know if I'm depressed about that or what, but soon we'll find out. But anyway, ladies and gentlemen, that's it. Go out there and conquer the world with the email marketing. All right. And we'll be back tomorrow with another hard hitting episode of Online Marketing Moves. But until then, ladies and gentlemen, my name is Tony Zano. Thank you for listening. And as always, everybody, peace.